Okay, we got audio. I'm pretty sure we got audio.
Do we, though?
Yeah, I can see. They just updated the thing, so everything moved and it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yes, we do. I can see the mixer moving as we're speaking.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, now we're going to test this one. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Test, 1, 2, test 1, 2. I might be a tiny bit quiet.
I will listen to it and find out.
All right.
Yeah, I sound fine because mine still didn't move. Yeah, I need to move just a little bit closer.
Yeah, that works.
That'll probably be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is set to your line.
Oh, okay.
James's microphone.
Good.
I had reversed that and it was going to be wrong and it was fucked up and Aaron caught it because that would have taken me 20 minutes to figure out the fuck I did wrong.
I was going to say.
You did that wrong. I was like, no, yes, I did.
Yeah, oh. Thank you for catching that.
Yeah, that saved us 20 minutes of going, why the fuck doesn't anything work?
After we go live, and we're just fucking around with the audio for 20 minutes. That would have been great.
Okay, we got a news thing to do.
Mm-hmm. We're doing the news today, everyone.
Yeah. I don't know how we didn't talk about who's going to take the lead on anything.
That's you, man.
That's me?
That's you.
Okay, so I'm just
I will...
slightly closer to me touching it.
I will begrudgingly admit your voice is slightly more radio friendly than mine. So.
I have a face and body and voice for radio, I've been told. I have an entire personality that is not meant for radio. It's meant to be burned in the trash.
Yeah, no. I've always thought I had a nice voice, but you have that radio baritone thing down.
Oh, man. Okay, that one is my phone because it's got my thing on it. Now we know.
Yeah.
All right.
My phone is silenced. I guess I can say like
not.
prelude and stuff like that.
You can. Actually,
Yeah.
I was going to suggest that you do it because it'd be weird.
Yeah,
Like,
it would be.
I was like, this is going to be fun. All right, I'm putting myself on Do Not Disturb.
There you go.
Initializing chat. I don't know. So this fucking Stream Deck still never works.
Yeah, did it die?
Whenever an update to the app happened, and it just sits there and blinks now.
No.
And then the last time I was able to fix it, I took it to my room and it worked, and then I brought it back over here and it didn't work, and then we restarted the computer and then it worked. I don't know what's wrong with them.
I wonder if it's like a firmware update or something.
I don't know, but it says that we're live.
Cool.
I haven't double checked by clicking the other stuff yet, but I'm going to right now. Let's go to Twitch. It says we're offline.
We should not be.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that should be doing a thing. So we're just going to go ahead and move it here.
So this says we went live?
So there's Brooklyn. Brooklyn says yo.
Oh, what's up, Brooklyn? Can you see and hear us right now? While we wait for the delay?
Yeah. It still says that we're offline, but we've been live for 4 minutes. Okay, you can hear us.
Okay.
I'm refreshing the page. Maybe that was what it was.
So what we're getting from OB...
yeah, it was just...
Okay. So what we're getting from OBS is correct then. All right, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was just being dumb and lagging.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
Twitch being Twitch.
Did that chat pop up when he started talking to us?
Let's double check. Pow!
Yay!
Yes.
All right.
That works. He can hear us. It's working.
We can see him talk.
That works. Okay, now the viewer count's working. Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
It needed a minute. It's Monday.
It needed literally 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Since I pressed record.
That's too long for a
to
computer
start.
to need.
We haven't needed a computer to wait 5 minutes for anything in 10 years.
Oh man, what was I watching? It was one of those VFX studio videos, and this guy plays one of his old CGI projects from college. And he has this really cool fully CG rendered scene and that travels so it's a really cool shot. But anyway, he's guess how long this took to render? And they're oh god, I don't know.
It's a month and a half.
At 80 hours, guys I don't know, a week, 35 days. What the fuck?
I was close.
What do you mean 35 days? It's I hit render and I did other classes.
You're I really hope this didn't fuck up.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's upside down. I guess I'll start over.
Yeah, no, that's the history of was it Toy Story 2? Mm-hmm. And how they lost they literally lost the movie, but somebody had a backup at home.
Yep.
How do you lose an entire fucking movie? apparently you clicked delete.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're ready to do this.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, so I gotta double duty these things. I got so many hands. Alright. And then I gotta look at chat too. Like,
Mm-hmm. No, I'll point out chat. I can see that
I really can't keep turning and reading at the same time.
Yeah. No. If someone says something, I'll point it out.
Right now. No, dude, my neck's been killing me for weeks, and I kept waking up when I was asleep with my just waking up going ow, and then roll over. And I hope it didn't hurt that way.
Oh shit! What up, Will?
I literally just pressed record.
You're supposed to like make a thing.
Well, normally I do like the okay go, but we were quiet and you instantly started talking.
Yeah, because hi, Will. Anyway,
hey,
go ahead.
All right, we're doing this again. Now I'm pressing record. It's time for both Gamescom and D23 adventures. Gear up for an all-new episode. That works.
Yeah, it works well.
And now we're gonna see how many takes it's gonna take us to do this entire show.
Oh yeah,
I'm guessing 7.
Okay, well 7's a good number.
I was pretty close on the. So we've already down 1. We're at take 2.
Yeah, we are down 1.
I was pretty close for the CGI rendering guess. So maybe my guessing is really good today. I'm gonna always be like slightly off. So like I shouldn't go get a lottery ticket, but like if I did, it would be like 3 numbers.
Maybe get like 5 lottery tickets and just play the end numbers.
That's a thing, right? Yeah. All right, recording again.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the show. We are the Silly Nerd, your one-stop shop for geek news that really, at this point, could not have flown under your radar because it was Gamescom and D23. No one has stopped talking about this weekend for the last week, it feels like.
Yeah.
Out this week is James. I was going to do his joke about how he's no longer with us because he's actually no longer with us.
He is no longer with us.
Yeah, right now. But I am
he
Tony.
died.
This is Hector.
I'm Hector.
Yeah, and we are going to talk about the weekly nerd news. So Gamescom and D23 is what going to be our most really topic. We're not going to have a weekly boss section because there's just so much to cover this week.
Yeah, this is almost like an E3 style episode where it's all just news from the conference.
And so you want to keep contact with us at SillyNerd.com, social media platforms, donate to the show if you want to. That'd be great. We're going to go ahead and start the prelude. Sure.
Prelude.
This is what we've been doing, seeing, watching, reading, whatever this week. Hector, do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll start.
We both go at the same time.
We should
It'd be really bad.
We should try to go at the same time less than this episode. Let's see. What did I do this week? I finished. So I watched. No, I talked about Godzilla last week, didn't I?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay. What did I? Oh, so I went to go see the movie Loose. It's
Loose?
Luce. Loose is a movie that I'd heard about right around the time Sundance finished. Everyone was saying probably movie of the year if nothing better comes out for the year. It just got released in theaters. I went to the Draft House to go see it, and damn was it cool. The story follows a young, actually African-American male. His 2 very white parents adopted him from a country in Africa when he was 10. He was also most likely a child soldier at that age. So now he's in college and now he's in high school and getting ready to graduate and go to college. And he's an incredibly good performer, very well liked, valedictorian, all that good stuff. And a kind of rift develops between him and one of his teachers, and you could basically call the movie Racial Tension, the movie.
Wonderful.
And it's played a lot like horror a lot of the time, which is a very interesting take on it. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal, and it's the kind of movie I really want a lot of other people to see so I can talk to them about it.
No, I'm like interested in this movie. Like, I need to go see this. This sounds like right up my alley.
It was super, super cool. Can't recommend it enough. I think if I mentioned nothing else this week, that one is the one to the one to see.
Well, I know. I watched a lot of YouTube covering Gamescom and D23. That's where I spent a good chunk of my time. I also went on a kind of like mini bar crawl thing that I decided to do to find hidden bars in Austin that need like codes to get into and stuff.
Yeah. Like the Midnight Cowboy, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they unfortunately did not have a vacancy because this was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I forgot one of my friends was coming in from out of town.
Okay.
And he's like, "Yeah, dude, your birthday's in like a couple of days. We're supposed to celebrate." And I was like, "Oh, I forgot."
Yeah.
So he came in, met up with a couple of other friends, and we just went downtown and went to like a hula bar. Went to probably the most fun bar I've ever went to, which is technically named the Redheaded Stepchild.
Okay.
But the actual name of it is a Floppy Disk Repair Company.
Nice. That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's when you have to type in a code to open the door to get inside of it.
Awesome.
And at which point, then you're in a really very odd world. Went to a luau bar. Like,
Is it? You said is it a tiki bar? Is that what you mean?
It's it's kind of like a tiki bar.
Okay.
But it's more upscale, which is annoying. Like they don't play tiki music. Mm-hmm. But they have tiki drinks.
Okay, yeah. Like,
they
tiki
have
drinks are 100%
drinks,
of the
but
point.
it's like
for me.
top radio bullshit that I hate music.
Yeah.
And it's like neon low lit room.
Huh.
But the pillars have skulls all over them, so it's like things that I like and things that I hate juxtaposed against each other. It's a very odd, and it smells weird because it's underneath like another building. It's very weird.
But you can get a drink that looks like the Amazon fucking rainforest.
I had so much mint. Like my little. All right, so I got my tiki mug. I'll show you after when we get to a break. There was so much mint coming out of it. It was like I have a tree. There's like a tree coming out of my fucking glass. It was wonderful. Yeah, I spent a good amount of time doing that this week and just hang out with some friends doing that. Did you watch, read, or do anything else?
Let me see. I just started, because I said I would last week, I just started The Magicians on Audible. I'm only like 3 chapters in, but I love it so far. It's a very different experience than the show is.
Yep.
And I mean, I like that. If you haven't read that
you
or
really
listened
follow
to that,
it's
do that.
Quentin's story in the books. It is very much the other people. There are chapters of other people, but it's very much Quentin's story throughout all the books.
Right. It's more like that, like how those characters relate to him. It seems like,
And I mean, that's when you're writing a book, you generally write from one character's perspective. When you're doing a show, you can explore multiple characters' perspectives.
Yeah, and that's something I really do like about the show. You can tell just by reading it that when you're watching the show that they injected a lot of their social commentary in a way that really fit the world that they're writing in very well, which is super tricky. So
yeah, that's how do you like do a story about wizards and magic and in modern society and not run into Harry Potter territory?
Exactly.
And I think the book, The Magicians, and the show do a pretty good job of that. Yeah, that's the problem with some of these. Like, there's a couple of kids magician like wizard shows that are out that Netflix suggests to me from time to time, and I'm like, no, it's not Harry Potter, and they're like, yeah, but it kind of is, but it's not. It's this weird other thing. And I'm like, no, dude, I don't want that.
Yeah, I hear exactly what you're talking about.
I can't remember anything else that I did. I remember I got drunk and tried to watch It, and that lasted for about 20 minutes.
Oh, I really like that movie, but yeah, you
I mean, I've already seen it.
Okay, good.
It was more like, hey, I want to watch it. My friend being like, I really hate horror movies. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And me going, too bad.
But you know what I saw on Thursday? I watched Brightburn finally.
I liked it. Did
I
you
like
it?
Yes, I did.
Good,
I
good.
could see why people might think it was a little predictable for a horror movie,
Because
but
it's exactly the story origin of Superman.
exactly, and
Which at this point has been around for like 80 years.
yeah, but it's so much better at that point than Superman just because of what it's doing, and I didn't really find too many flaws with it. I thought the actor playing the kid was great.
Yeah, I loved it overall. I'm glad that we got that like in between Guardians of the Galaxy break to have James Gunn kind of like, I'm gonna go over here and do this other thing.
Yep.
And I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. So I think that's going to be it for kind of what we've done this week.
Yeah.
I just can't remember anymore at this point. I got so drunk.
Yeah. Oh, I started playing a game called The Remnant with a couple friends of mine. Lash is one of them. And it's kind of a 3-player game. It's I could lazily describe it as Dark Souls with shooting and like...
Okay.
3 players, but every time you start the game, the entire world is procedurally generated, and it's not like level to level or loading to loading. When you started the game, the entire world of the game created itself and locked itself down, and you can re-roll it when you finish the game and just kind of start over. And the thing is, you will find things when you re-roll the game that you never saw in your first playthrough. So that's kind of the super interesting part about it right now.
That's actually a really cool idea. I like that. I mean, that just goes back to like my original love of Diablo, and
Yeah.
like you didn't know what you were gonna get at any point in time.
Yeah, you walk into a dungeon and you're like, no, I have no memory of this place.
So that's an awesome game. I like it. I need to look up more about that.
Yeah, The Remnant.
Remnant. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go into our next section, which is
All the news.
the weekly raid.
Yeah.
Yay! We did one section.
We did it.
Yay!
We did a whole section.
We did a whole section.
I think the next section is our last section.
Yeah, that's just, we're already mostly done.
Wow.
I mean, we just have like the whole like 90% of the show to do still, but this is the only part. Unless we want to do a week boss room, which for us, I don't know. We just want to ramble on for like an hour and a half.
We would just sit here talking. We could just talk probably about like Sony and Spider-Man for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things I needed that I haven't talked to you about was one of the things I'm going back is watching movies that I didn't necessarily enjoy and that people overall just kind of like crapped upon.
That's interesting.
But looking at the movies under the why did the director shoot the film the way that they did?
Mm-hmm.
Like Brightburn is obviously a superhero movie, or obviously it's a horror movie, but
Right.
it is a superhero movie.
Yeah.
But whenever you take something like a superhero movie and then shoot it like a Western, but the subject matter doesn't follow that line of filmmaking style, it really fucks with people's enjoyment of the films.
Yeah.
And I think that's, well, kind of why DC's failed at this point in their filmmaking.
Yeah.
Just because like every one of those movies gets to a point where it's like, you're shooting this movie wrong for what the story is.
And that's kind of the thing that Marvel figured out almost immediately is that they make a genre film and put a superhero in it.
Yeah.
DC is just making superhero movies over and over and over again.
But trying to put different genre shit into it.
And nobody likes them. Like, there's a reason Captain America is a spy movie, or at least not Civil War. Winter Soldier is like 100%
versus
a
the
spy
period
movie.
piece that was the first one.
Exactly.
And it worked. And
those work, but when you try and make an Aquaman movie and then like,
James
we'll have
Gunn's
war.
Aquaman did work, but it is the best out of all of them.
Right, and
That's
that being
including
said,
that's including Wonder Woman at this point.
yeah, and that being said, it's not as good as most of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, it was fun. For me, it was more the fact that I was like, "There's Annabelle."
Yeah.
So that means this is part of a bigger universe.
The movie was fun because it was a little bit ridiculous, and I appreciated that. I did. Because it's what are you gonna? It's the fish guy. He talks to fish. You have to do something cool with your movie, or he's gonna just completely suffer from he's the fish guy.
I do like the fact that that's one of the things they bring up. They're like, "Wait, you can talk to the fish?" And they're like, he's like, "Yeah, kinda. I mean, like I tell them things, and they do things sometimes when they want to." And they're like, "That's weird." And you're like, "Cool. It's not all fish people can talk to the fish. It's just one dude gets to talk to the fish." And you think it can be shunned for society for that.
Well,
we eat those. Stop conversing.
Well, my only question would be, do they talk back, and do you eat them?
That's like whenever his mother, I don't know if she had the power to talk to the fish or not, but the very first thing you see her eat a goldfish.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And everything eats everything in the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, he's supposed to be the chosen one or whatever, so.
Chosen to eat the best.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I finished the movie. I don't know. I may have fell asleep.
The ending is very busy, but I mean, you didn't miss it.
I don't really remember a lot.
It's fine.
I'll go back and finish it like tonight, whenever I'm not doing more work. All right, let's go into weekly raid. But you can say it.
I'll say it. The weekly raid.
Is that your Tony impression?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is what happened this last week, which we're going to cover mostly just Gamescom and D23.
Yep.
And not even everything that happened at both of those things because too much fucking happened.
I was going to say, it was like a week and a half of stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm exhausted just from keeping up with the news this week. So I guess first off, we're going to start with where Gamescom started. Jeff Knightley's opening night live, where they kind of just did some video trailer stuff. It was kind of like a mini version of the Game Awards. It felt like
it felt almost exactly like the Game Awards in the sense that they gave out no awards and just ran trailers, which is
and
like
also
half of the
gave
Game
Hideo
Awards.
Kojima a sloppy blowjob.
Oh my god, yeah, we'll get to Kojima, but
we'll get to that, but that's what it felt like.
Oh, for real, we'll totally get there and describe this slob knobbery that happened.
But first, a couple of interesting things that happened on this stage. We got a release date for The Witcher 3 on the Switch.
Yeah.
So that's actually, all right, out of all the stuff we're going to talk about the Switch later, this is the most hard to run game for the Switch.
Yeah.
Everything that we're going to talk about later is like, couldn't run on a phone.
Yeah.
But The Witcher 3, holy shit, coming to the Switch, that's big fucking deal.
Yeah, The Witcher 3 is very it's impressive that they got it to run on the Switch, but all reports point out that, like, if you want to play The Witcher 3 on a big screen, get it on literally anything else. If you want to, if you want to play,
you want to have any sort of fidelity in your picture, the Switch is not going to have it.
If you want to play it on the go, if you want to play it on the bus, in the car, on your commute, or while you're traveling,
and when you do weird horse being on top of buildings thing, on the go, this is your way to go.
Definitely get it on the Switch.
So apparently also new Predator Hunting Grounds trailer.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of asymmetrical multiplayer, like actual Predators versus
This is the one
humans.
I just didn't see the link for. Like I just didn't. I didn't go out of my way to look for it.
Yeah,
I missed that beginning part of the show.
They showed off very little of the actual game. They just they showed you enough, like a multiplayer environment and a Predator stalking a soldier and a soldier stalking a Predator, and you got enough to get exactly the gist of what's on the tin.
And everything that we kind of say, with one exception, kind of felt that way for this opening night live, because it was supposed to be we're not ready to show you everything, but we want to tease you with what's coming up over the next couple of days.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's when we get like this thing, Little Nightmares 2.
Yeah, Little Nightmares was a really fun little puzzle game in the tradition of, say, Limbo or Inside, or all the way back to... what's the one where you go forward? Braid.
Yeah, so it's more like it's that platformer and indie interesting kind of game.
Kind of like story, like you tell the story by walking to your right, basically. So this one is a sequel to Little Nightmares, and Little Nightmares was a lot of fun, in that it was horrifyingly disturbing all of the time. All of the time. It was just absolutely terrifying.
It's like, it sounds like a game for kids, but it's super not.
Oh, super duper not. You play a kid.
Like, it's the more horrifying version of Five Nights at Freddy's.
You're playing a kid who's like kind of the size of a cat compared to the adults around him, and all of the adults really want to eat him. As you run from room to room. So in this one, Little Nightmares 2, what we saw was some cooperative play, which the original one did not have.
I've got an idea for the third one. So that should be very interesting. Instead of being a child being like run around by like all the children trying to eat, or the parents trying to eat the child, we reverse it and there's all these children trying to eat an adult, and it's symbolism for aging.
Ooh, I got one. Okay, so you're like,
what's your next? Little Nightmares idea. What number in the series is this?
So this is like 5 at this point, right?
Okay.
And so you're a rich guy in a suit running from a bunch of millennials trying to guillotine you.
I mean, can we just have that as life instead?
Yeah,
that'd be great. Like, if we could just do that instead. Like, we don't need to make a game about it. We could do reality about it.
Yeah, we can jump straight to the next one so we can finish on the one we want to.
Okay.
Kerbal Space Program 2 has been announced.
So they just made a harder version of a game that was already insanely hard?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
it's a space rocket simulator game where you're supposed to get off the planet, and no one ever gets off the planet because everybody sucks at designing spaceships.
But the ones who do are hilarious, and the ones who are really good at it make fucking Gundams and shit and launch those out of the planet. So what it looks like in Kerbal Space Program 2, that's actually really hard to say all at once. So what it looks like for this one is that they have a space station, and once you get off the planet, you need to have the implementation to be able to dock with it safely.
So now there's space docking.
Oh, yeah. All kinds of space docking. Just foreskin over foreskin.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad that they added that to the game. It just seems like that could have been a patch they threw out.
You know.
I don't know. I know people that play this game. Or it's for me, if I was like into spaceships and stuff, like I like playing PC Building Simulator.
Right.
Which is literally just putting computer parts in a case and turning it on. That's it. I literally did that. That's one of the things I did this week. I went back and played. I did some water. I did water cooling setups on like a Dream PC.
Ooh,
because you can do that inside the game.
Okay.
This is the same thing. It's like you get to build spaceships.
So the interesting thing about this one is the educational value of it, because as far as I know, the game doesn't do a lot to teach you the fundamentals of rocketry. So if you want to build a better ship, you kind of got to start, hitting up Uncle Wiki and learning some rocket science to play the game better.
Like how it has to curve at the end of its launch because the way the Earth is spinning, you have to get out in a straight line, but it's actually a curved line.
Yep.
And yeah. That's awesome. I'm not a rocket scientist.
Yeah, no,
or a rocket doctor or a space engineer or any of those things, so I am not good at this game.
Yeah.
I've given up a long time ago, just in general. We have so the final thing that we got to see at the Jeff Knightley's opening night live. I like the whole name is Jeff Knightley's opening night live.
His last name's Keeley, but
Jeff
yes.
Keeley. Jeff Keeley.
I know that it looks like Knightley.
It starts with a K. That's a knight. K-E-I-G-H.
Yeah,
Knight. That's like knight.
Yeah, no.
Keeley, no, fuck that. His name's wrong. Jeff Wrong opening night live.
Yeah,
was just correct me every time I say that wrong.
That's
please.
fine. So he's going to end the presentation, and he always announces him this way, so you knew it was fucking coming. But he's just sitting there going, "So my good friend," as he always says, Hideo Kojima, and then goes on, and then he just kind of walks out on stage
literally
behind him.
a super cut of all the times.
Yeah,
they either tried to or did bring Hideo Kojima on stage.
I love how often Jeff Keighley he will pick any excuse to play the clip of bitching at Konami live on stage at his Game Awards show, and the audience
it was his Game
Konami.
Show. He was allowed to say whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yep, and he walked out there and he called Konami a piece of shit, and then everyone in the audience booed at Konami, and he plays that at least once a year at some event he's doing.
I mean, honestly, as long as Konami can remember that they're a piece of shit, it's good for us, right?
Exactly. So he played that, and then he played the year after when he came back and was no longer under contract by Konami and could accept the... It wouldn't be posthumous. That would be if he died. But accept the belated award for Game of the Year. And then, he just kept, going on. And then he showed the announcement of him working for Sony when he walked out on the PlayStation E3 stage that one year and everything else. And he just brings him out on stage, talks about what a genius he is, has Norman Reedus walk out on stage and talk about what a genius he is.
And then show a clip from the gameplay of the game, where, spoiler for the end part of it, where Jeff is in it.
Yep.
Getting to, it's this circle jerk of love of this guy, and I don't get it. I personally don't get it. The clip that we started was with a peeing simulator. We got to sit there, we got to watch Norman Reedus sleep for 5 minutes, it felt like.
Oh, yeah.
Wake up, pee for another 5 minutes, and then fail to walk up a hill for a while, and then to talk to Jeff. At which point we're like, cool, this game is the most boring thing in the fucking world.
It's kind of hard. It's not that hard to find a parallel for Hideo Kojima fans and people who really love his work, because his work is not accessible for a mainstream audience. It is awkward, it is weird, but to some people it really, really appeals. And he has a very...
The thing is, it's a large number of people. I'm just not one that it appeals to.
And he has a very loyal, very loud fan base. Yeah. So when people start...
Understatement.
Yeah.
Understatement.
Absolutely.
I would say screechingly annoying fan base.
Exactly, which is why he got so much praise there at the event. But, I mean, I would kind of compare it to, the people who do Rocky Horror Picture Show at least once a year, those kind of fans who are this one work is the greatest thing of all time, and I will do it until I die, and whoever invented it's a genius, and I can't wait to play Frankenfurter when I'm old enough. Those people. That's kind of a lot like what Kojima fans are, and for everything he brings out, they're like, oh my god, he made another... fucking
he gets this is definitely personal bias, but he gets treated like video game Jesus. That everything that he works on is the best thing in the world, and I really hate to tell him it's super not.
Yeah, and that's fair.
I do not like his games. I was very much forward looking to PT, but that was because it was kind of had to be reined into a certain project idea,
right?
And Guillermo del Toro can kind of be like, I'm literally the master of fucking horror. I'm going to make a horror video game. This guy who's very good at making video games is going to make it.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been the perfect balance, but I'm not seeing that in Death Stranding.
No, Death Stranding is 100% just a Kojima game with him being Kojima, and...
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro's, involvement is that they scanned him and put them in there and then had somebody else voice him over.
Right, and I mean, for reference, I mean... Nicholas Winding Refn is in this game. He's not even the type of director who puts himself in front of the camera, but he does make movies that are insanely unapproachable and kind of hard to watch. But certain people really love him and think he's a genius. So, him being in one of Kojima's games is kind of hilarious.
Okay, so I'm interested in... I kind of want to play this game, but it's more I need to go to the Redbox and rent it.
Yeah, curiosity more than
I cannot
anything.
justify spending $60 on something that I know that historically I don't like the creator of. So it's like there's a lot of directors like, I'm interested in your movie, but I'm not $10 interested in your movie.
Yeah, and that's fair.
I just think that overall, it did look cool. The graphics looked great. I don't understand Ghost Amazon Baby Delivery Service. As
Nobody
a thing.
understands it except for Kojima at this point.
And even then, no, it just for me, like the plot just seemed very boring. And that's just, I know that's also personal bias, but whenever they got to, because we got two clips, we got actual gameplay,
Yeah.
and we got a kind of FMV sequence to explain a little bit of the plot.
which was also classic Kojima. There were cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 4 that were over an hour long. So, I mean, that was actually a pretty short scene, and I appreciated that it was nice and short.
That's the director's cut of that scene. It
Yeah,
could be
probably.
5,000 hours longer.
It could be.
I just, because like, I ain't got that kind of time. I need to go kill some space aliens.
Yeah, that's fair.
Get to the fucking point. Stop beating around the bush on what you're trying to, like, how to show me the plot, because you're not really showing me. You're just kind of like vague references to reality, go figure it out yourself, but it doesn't really mean what you think it does. And you're like, no, fucking say it, let me shoot some goddamn aliens. That's how we fucking move on. I don't know, it's just not for me. So I'm gonna be done talking about my hatred of Hideo Kojima, even though he is a fucking good game maker. All right, now up next, in the list of things that we were supposed to talk about. This is also not a list that we created.
No, we didn't.
This is a list we were handed, and we are going to say whatever fuck we feel like about these things.
Yep.
Halo co-creator shows off Disintegration, a team-based multiplayer game releasing in 2020 for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox. This is kind of a first-person shooter game.
Yeah.
That if you ever played Destiny is going to be it's just Destiny, but
It kinda looks-
shittier.
it looks
like a
like-
shittier version of Destiny.
So it looks like multiplayer, almost like with class roles, almost like an Overwatch.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, that's what Destiny has too, though. I mean, think
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, of
Character
course.
classes have their power base. Whenever I saw a purple bubble show up, I'm like, cool, they've got Titans. What the fuck?
Right, but it's, I mean, you know, some of the well, a Warlock and, you know, from far away, and
Yeah.
a Titan and all those, they all look human, vaguely human shaped. This, we had stuff like a guy was a vehicle, a guy was a walking tank, a guy was just a dude in armor.
Yeah, but look
It's a
at
little
let's look at
different.
Anthem. They're
Yeah.
all there's like 3 different guys, but they're all just different sizes of the same 3 different guys.
That's true.
Or 4. I can't remember. I played Anthem for like 5 minutes and said, "Fuck this bullshit."
Anthem was bad.
Yes.
But it looks a little bit different, and it looks more like a multiplayer experience, but
You know,
also a little bit in a Diablo sort of way, or like Path of Exile.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in the world. Like, we don't know enough right now to find out, is it like an open world game like Destiny,
Yeah.
where you keep playing over and over again and do raids and the MMO-esque experience like we talked about last week on the show? Or is it going to be something more akin to Halo, just Halo Plus?
Yeah.
Where it's you get to shoot things with your friends, but you're kind of replaying the same content over and over again.
Yeah, and I mean, when you talk about, when anyone attaches the word Halo to a video game, like from the creators of, or workers of, on, or janitors for the staff of Halo, you think a game with great shooting mechanics. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what this game is advertising itself
You know,
as.
and currently there are 2 games that have great shooting mechanics, and they're Halo and Destiny because Bungie made those both.
Right.
And the shooting is the best on those, and every other first-person shooter I've played since then is not as good.
That's fair.
Battlefield 5's shooting does not feel as good as holding a DMR and just hitting somebody in the head. Like, they feel completely different to me. And Halo still has it, and Destiny has that. Nobody else has come close. So maybe we'll get a little bit of that special sauce that Bungie had back in the day to
It'd
make
be
the
nice.
shooting feel like that. But the field of view is very different. All the first-person shots we got during this trailer were very wide open.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like it's a first-person shooter in that, like, I aim down and shoot at an enemy. It's more like I shoot at groups of enemies at a time.
Yeah, it had kind of that super pulled back, almost Earth Defense Force style, like, camera. But it did look first person,
Yeah.
which was awkward. It was like
Like, I
a
could even
first person.
see the guns on either side, and they
Yeah.
were shooting, but they were like the people were really far away.
Yeah, it was like a first person view at like 120 FOV or something like that.
Yeah,
Something
no.
crazy.
Like I've now gotten used to 105 FOV since cross save happened as a thing on
Yeah,
Destiny. I did
that's
not
true.
talk about that in the beginning, so I'm gonna talk about it now because fuck you, I'm running the show.
Do it.
Cross save got enabled on Destiny this week, and I was able to take my Xbox characters and bring them to PlayStation and Xbox, or sorry, PC, and in the future Stadia if I wanted to. and all my shit's there. I discovered that if you try to log on both systems at the same time, it signs you out whatever current one you're on. It's amazing. Like the fact that no game has kind of been like, no, we really want you to play wherever the fuck you want to play.
Right,
like,
of course.
But it worked. It totally worked. And I'm amazed that we're getting into this, like, a third-party company, somebody like Bungie, somebody that's not Microsoft or Sony, that is doing something that on this level of cross-play for everybody, or at least it is cross. It's not cross-play; it's cross-save.
Yeah, but
because I know was it one of the Call of Duty games is getting cross-play?
Yes, the new Modern Warfare, and that's what well, first of all, Brooklyn said that Titanfall 2 says "Hold my kombucha" on the shooting mechanics, and I kind of agree that Titanfall 2 mechanics were great, but from what I've seen for the new Modern Warfare, the guns, just watching the video, I haven't actually played the game. But
I'm not a big fan of the Call of Duty games. The first couple of them, when it was set in World War II, felt good.
Yeah.
But I have not felt that same wonderful shooting mechanic in any of the modern setting ones.
Yeah, this new modern one looks like it has very, very solid mechanics, and I'm pretty excited for that one.
Okay, and that's the one that's going to have like crossplay with everybody.
Yeah,
like,
when they
crazy.
when they debuted the event, they had people playing on PC versus people playing on PS4. Both sides were using both a keyboard and mouse and a controller, just to show that you can really mix it up. There was a guy I saw on YouTube the other day who said, "Yeah, we just had an open beta on the PlayStation 4, but since it's a native PC game, I just plugged in my keyboard and mouse and everything worked fine, and here's me playing with it."
Yeah, no. So that was the first thing I did whenever I switched over my characters in Destiny. Was I hooked up my controller because I've got a nice controller. And I was like, this is what I'm used to playing on.
Yeah.
And I started playing with some of my friends that are on PC, and I literally, after like 3 hours, like, y'all do realize that like I've been beating the shit out of you, and I'm on a controller, right? And they're like, bullshit. I'm like, yeah, no, this is. And that's when they started the flame war of like controllers are crap. I'm like, I'm literally beating all of you. And I've been on controller this entire time.
Right, so whether or not controllers are objectively better or worse, I'm whooping your ass with one.
Yeah, it's like you can talk shit all you want about controllers, but I'm currently winning, so that makes controllers win.
Yeah.
And that's something that I love, that we can now get to that point in the games where we can make keyboard and mouse and controller, everything just feels like a cohesive world.
Yeah, definitely.
This cat is doing very annoying cat things that needs to go away.
Now he's Crotch Cat.
Yeah, I gotta hold on to him, otherwise he's gonna knock over the webcam.
All right, so apparently Stadia made some noise.
Stadia showed up and announced things that I personally don't care about because it's Stadia now, and like I just feel like it's a failed thing already. But let's get into what they announced.
Yeah.
So first off, Cyberpunk 2077 is coming to Google Stadia. Of course it is. Like, how did we not see that?
It would be really bad if it wasn't. If a game was like, nah, we don't want to be on Stadia.
The biggest game in possibly gaming history that everyone in the world is excited about is coming out, and Google not getting involved on that when their shit's about to fucking launch would have been like the biggest blunder of blunders.
Yeah, and the thing is, we have James chiming in from overseas now, from across the veil, because he did die. He's no longer with us.
He's no longer with us.
Yeah. So
it's amazing how the internet works.
Man, I know, right?
From beyond the grave.
An episode of Black Mirror in here somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. First of all, how Stadia is getting gaming companies to like chime in and be like, our game's gonna be on the Stadia, because, I mean, at this point, with everything that we know about Stadia, there's no reason to invest in it until it's established. And who's going to invest in it before it is?
So this thing is like, that comes to early adopters to be the ones to establish it. They're making a good case with the list we're about to keep going down for reasons why you should get onto Google Stadia. Sure. The idea of play these games anywhere you want, however you want, is awesome. The idea that like I could take my Cyberpunk game and play it at home on my computer, or I can play it on my Xbox.
Right.
Hopefully. They hopefully, because they're like, it'll be an app or something like that. Yeah. I doubt they're going to do that. But, my Google Chromecast. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
I can play it on my Chromecast. I can play it on my PC. And then I can get up and go, and I can play it on my tablet. And I can take Cyberpunk wherever I want with me as long as I have internet connection. That sounds like a cool idea.
It does.
Until the moment they shut down the service, or the internet goes out, or that whatever myriad of reasons this thing could fail at.
Right, and that's the thing is when we buy into systems like this, when EA went live with their service, we all knew EA wasn't going anywhere. Same with Ubisoft, and Steam has a long storied history of being there since like Counter-Strike.
But Google has a long history of making something and saying
abandoning it.
A month later.
So if this service doesn't make money, Google will not keep it around. Meaning any game you buy through Stadia and on Stadia is gone.
Yeah, and these games are now, so we got Cyberpunk 2077, Samurai Showdown, which is a game that I don't really know anything about. So I'm just, unless you want to talk about that one, I don't know anything about it. Mortal Kombat 11. So again, I'm worried about the how do you play a fighting game over a purely server-based experience.
Which there already might be
lag.
input lag from your end to the server going from both ends, and then visual lag coming back to you.
Like dual end server lag equals broken, not fun time.
Yeah, it's space docking, but for the internet.
Yeah, but then so then there's a new Doom Eternal trailer because they already knew Doom Eternal was coming this.
Oh yeah, of course.
Doom Eternal's much like Cyberpunk going to come out on everything for everything because it's Doom Eternal and fuck do I want to play that game.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. It comes out in like December. I
love Doom
or November.
Doom was just amazing.
Yeah,
and then they're like I remember we were at E3 watching the trailer and I was like they just made Doom more Doom.
Yep.
I need this.
I was watching it. It's like, oh, look, more Doom. Yep, already bought it.
This is exactly what I want in my life. Is just more Doom.
And then there was a grappling hook that he shot at a monster and drug himself over to it. Okay, and I was like, okay, more Doom.
According to Ghost James, Samurai Showdown is pretty big in the fighting game community. But again, that's 2 fighting games. So this shit, they've got to get that input lag down to like non-existent.
Yeah, that is the thing. I mean,
that's, out of this list, you got Cyberpunk, which comes down to here's the thing.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, sure, like it's a shooter, but it has also
sense.
Spy aspects. I can do a no-kill run possibly,
and it's a single player game.
Yeah, so same thing with Doom.
You don't have to worry about
I don't have to worry about anybody fucking around with unless I play Doom multiplayer, but that's a whole separate side of. But 2 fighting games being thrown on there. I hope their magic sauce behind the scene works because I'm just worried about.
If not, no one will buy it, and if no one buys it, the few people who do buy games on it are screwed.
Yeah, because like the price point's $130,
and let's not forget you're paying retail price for games,
and then I'm paying $60 for a game. And I remember because this is where we started talking about this. The show when it first came out, the Ouya, which was like $200.
Yeah.
And was supposed to play all these games, and it totally didn't, and it failed, and was this horrible thing. Like, is Google going to make that? And I've been burned in the past by this shit. Do I want to spend $130 getting into Google and then not being able to play games later on?
Yeah, and James made a good point a minute ago, and I'll definitely reiterate this. If you're going to buy Cyberpunk, which we know you all are, buy it on GOG. Support them directly.
Well, unless I'm going to play it on console. At which point
you can still buy it on GOG for consoles.
Can you? Okay, then buy it on GOG.
I'll always buy it through
GOG.
GOG.
You get all the content that everybody says that they're going to give you exclusive, but it's super not.
Yeah, GOG doesn't do exclusives. They won't even do service exclusives. Now that GOG is coming out with a really good client for launching all of your games from Steam, from Blizzard, from everywhere, which I'm in the beta for. It's very nice. Okay. And it conglomerates all my games